ఓకేనా? ఫ్రేమ్ ఓకే కదా? ముగ్గురు. ఓకేనా? చెప్పేస్తాను. ఓకేనా? డన్. ఓకే.
Is the lighting good? Is that Sri?
హాయ్.
హలో అండి, నా లైటింగ్ సరిపోతుందా?
అంటే మీ తల పైన లైట్ ఆఫ్ చేయండి, ఫేస్ పైన లైటింగ్ పెంచుకోండి సార్ ప్లీజ్. మీ ఫేస్ పైన లైటింగ్ ఉండేటట్టు చూసుకోండి ప్లీజ్.
Change the location. మీరు ఎక్కడ హైదరాబాద్ లో ఉన్నారా?
ఎస్ సార్, నేను లాస్ట్ వీక్ వచ్చిన సార్, పండక్కని వచ్చినాను.
ఇది కూడా ప్రాబ్లం.
మీరు ఉండేది న్యూ జెర్సీ అయినా సార్ ఇక్కడ?
లేదు, నేను అట్లాంటా.
అట్లాంటా, ఓకే. Now it's a little bit good, sir.
Okay. So let me.
Now little bit good, sir. Yes.
Okay. And I'll get the power connected. మీరు పండుగ అంటే సంక్రాంతి పండగ?
అవును సార్, సంక్రాంతికి వచ్చాను. నెక్స్ట్ మంత్ మళ్ళీ యుఎస్ రిటర్న్ వస్తున్నాను సార్.
ఓకే.
మా ఆఫీస్ ఎడిసన్ లో ఉంది సార్, న్యూ జెర్సీ.
ఓకే, యా. ఎడిసన్ నేను ఫెమిలియర్. ఎడిసన్ లో ఏ ఏరియా? నాకు కొన్ని ఏరియాలు తెలుసు, అన్ని కాదు.
అంటే అదేది మన లెక్సన్ స్ట్రీట్ అని ఉంటుంది సార్ ఒకటి.
ఆ మెట్రో
కార్పొరేట్
అని మెట్రో పార్క్ మెట్రో హెచ్క్యూ ఏదో ఉంటుంది కదా.
నియర్ బై సార్.
సో ఇదివరకు ఆఫీసులన్నీ అక్కడ ఉండేవి.
ఎస్, ఇప్పుడు ఆఫీసులన్నీ అక్కడే ఉన్నాయి సార్. ఎస్.
గుడ్.
మీ ప్రొఫైల్ చూసిన సార్, చాలా గ్రేట్ ప్రొఫైల్.
మీరు ఎక్కడ చూసాను, నేనేం పంపాను మీకు?
అంటే మీ కంపెనీ ప్రొఫైల్ చూసినాను.
లింక్డ్ఇన్ లో చూసారా మీరు?
అవును సార్.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Yeah.
ప్రవీణ్ ఇక్కడ రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తాడా మన అట్లా?
అంటే మా ఓనర్ కమ్ సిఇఓ శ్రీధర్ చిల్లర గారు సార్.
ఇది దీని కింద మన TV5 కింద.
అవును సార్, ఇట్స్ సిస్టర్ కన్సర్న్.
ఓకే, దెన్ ఐ నో శ్రీధర్ వెల్.
ఎస్, మీన్ ఇది సిస్టర్ కన్సర్న్ సార్. మీన్ శ్రీధర్ చిల్లర ఇస్ ఓనర్ అండ్ సిఇఓ సార్.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Oh, owner and CEO. Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, it's a Sridhar Chiller. Yes.
Good.
I'm executive editor, sir.
Okay, very good. మీరు అంతకుముందు ఎక్కడ చేసేవారు?
సార్, నేను స్టార్టింగ్ కెరియర్ వార్తలో చేసినాను. తర్వాత ముంబైలో ఒక ఇంగ్లీష్ పత్రికలో పనిచేసిన సార్, మిడ్ డే అని.
మిడ్ డే తెలుసు, నేను బాంబేలో
మిడ్ డే ఓల్డ్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ లో క్రైమ్ బ్యూరో చీఫ్ గా పనిచేసినాను సార్.
వండర్ఫుల్.
ఎండి తయారైనప్పుడు. ఇప్పుడు టైమ్స్ గ్రూప్ వాళ్ళు తీసుకున్నారు సార్. ఇప్పుడు న్యూ మేనేజ్మెంట్.
నేను ఐఐటి బాంబేలో చదువుకున్నా. అండ్ ప్లస్
నేను 4 years పనిచేసిన సార్ ముంబైలో.
నేను బాంబేలో వర్క్ చేసా TCS తో. బాగా పాపులర్. మాకు మార్నింగ్ మధ్యాహ్నం న్యూస్ వచ్చేది కదా.
అవును సార్. అంటే ఇప్పటికి కూడా లార్జెస్ట్ సర్క్యులేటెడ్ అదే సార్.
ఓకే, ఐ థింక్ మిస్టర్
తర్వాత 2017 నుండి ఇప్పటి వరకు ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ మీడియాలో కంటిన్యూ అవుతున్నాను సార్.
ఐ థింక్ మిస్టర్ బన్సల్ జాయిన్
మహా న్యూస్ అండ్ ప్రైమ్ 9 లో చేసినాను సార్.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ మిస్టర్ బన్సల్.
Yes, good evening.
Bansal sir, good morning.
Namaste. Namaste. Good evening to you.
Yeah, looking good.
Oh well, thank you. You too.
Yes sir. थोड़ा हेड थोड़ा नीचे करिए सर, थोड़ा मैंने उसको एडजस्टमेंट करिए 1 इंच और थोड़ा That's great. Now it's okay sir.
Right, wonderful.
Yeah, Ajay bhai also joining on time. We are starting sir.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Sir, we are discussing about economic and trade cooperation, defense and security, energy and technology, global and geopolitics, as well as immigration and F1 issues. And deportation by default, we'll discuss it.
Okay, sure. No problem.
Yeah. This will be the major subject, sir. Or outline will be this subject, sir.
Okay, very good. Well, we'll try to address them as best as we can.
Yeah, that's good, sir.
So is Ajay already?
Yeah, Ajay, he said that within 1 minute he will join.
Okay, all right. Super.
Just he texted message. Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, Mr. Akkineni is with us, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Namaste. How are you?
Hi, Mr. Bansalji. Where are you? Which city are you from?
I'm actually in New Jersey, very
Okay.
close to New York City, about 40 miles.
Okay, yeah. I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, you're in Atlanta. Okay. Yeah. So Mana TV, it has a US presence also, is it?
I think they are on Yup TV. So people who subscribe to Yup TV, they have
Okay.
access to that channel. Otherwise, there is no, I don't
We
know.
have YouTube live, sir. I already shared the link to you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't have the time to look at the background, but
Yeah.
no problem. Can you hear me fine? I mean, there's no
Yes,
there's no
it's
problem
clear,
with the-
sir. Even lighting and voice is perfectly clear.
I know, that's what you seem to be a seasoned.
I don't know that.
Yes.
I do get on, video conferences a lot for internal discussions as well as, discussions like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Well prepared. That's good. See, the people want to see it. They want to see the background and say what's happening with.
No. After COVID, there's a minimum requirement now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after pandemic, yeah.
Yeah.
So your background is totally blank. You want me to blank my background as well, or is
No,
this
it's okay, sir. It's okay. Perfectly right,
No,
sir.
actually, I purposefully, because my lighting was not sufficient. That's why I did. Don't.
Okay.
Actually, I
Yes.
didn't blank out. It's a blue wall behind me. That's
Oh,
all.
there's a blue wall behind you.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No, it's okay, sir. It's a perfect now. It's
Okay,
a min.
cool.
Bansalji and Chand Akkineni, your both visibility is good, sir.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, yeah.
What field are you in, Mr. Bansal?
Well, I'm retired now. My background is actually R&D. I was chemical engineer for long period of time. I retired 10 years ago, and now I basically working full time with volunteering with the Vishwa Hindu Parishad of America.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. Who were you with Corning, or which company were you working?
No, actually, I was working with ExxonMobil for 40 years.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. That's quite a achievement. So,
Yeah, thank you.
I'm in IT services.
I see. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
so I'm around. I started my career in '79. So
79. Yeah, no, actually, I did PhD and started my career in mid 70s, 75 to be exact.
okay, where did you do your PhD?
From Canada. It's called University of Waterloo.
Yeah, Waterloo is known. Oh,
Mm.
that's okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Where did you do your graduation?
Oh, undergraduate, you mean? Or what
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
Did you... So, undergraduate, I mean, I actually did from Punjab University, Chandigarh.
Okay. No, but you must have done master's somewhere and then gone to
Yeah, well, so I did master's and PhD both from University of Waterloo.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. నేను చెప్తాను. ఓకే ఇప్పుడు టైం స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. విల్ స్టార్ట్ ఆన్ టైం. ఓకే అజయ్ బాయ్ వెల్కమ్.
He was there a second ago.
Yeah, he's coming.
Okay, wonderful.
Ajay bhai.
Okay, he's unmuted now. No. Yeah.
You can see me.
Hello.
I just let me switch
Ajay
my
bhai,
camera.
good evening.
Hello, namaste. Good evening.
Namaste, Ajay. How are you?
Namaste.
Yeah.
Namaste.
How was
Okay.
your...
अजय भाई आपका फेस का ऊपर लाइटिंग नहीं है.
No, कर रहे कुछ कर रहे हैं. मैं देखता हूँ कैसे करना
Please.
है. मैं
How
जरा
was-
होटल में हूँ तो थोड़ा मुश्किल है लाइटिंग करना.
Yeah.
कैसे.
Yeah, how was your dip in the Triveni?
It was very good. It was very good. Let me turn on one more light. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure.
Little better? No. There's one more
मैं
light.
आपको कुछ ना विंडो है तो विंडो ओपन कर दो अजय भाई.
There's one more light. There's one more light. एक मिनट. विंडो तो शाम हो गई ना. एक मिनट. There's one more
Yeah,
light.
we are still lighting is not sufficient in the.
Now it will be. Now it will be.
Yeah, it's okay. Now it's okay.
Yeah, much better.
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah, much
Okay.
better. Yes.
Okay.
थोड़ा
I'm
फ्रेम
gonna-
सेट कर लो अजय भाई. फ्रेम अच्छा नहीं है. फ्रेम.
नहीं वो भी मैं एडजस्ट करता हूँ अभी. एक मिनट.
Yeah.
I have a separate software for that. एक मिनट. This one doesn't have that software. एक मिनट.
No, change your screen. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is that this
Start this. I know.
this one has a special
Okay.
software
Okay.
which is
Okay.
not installed on this machine.
Line out.
uh, but it's a
No,
little
this
better.
is good. I think we can see you full now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bansa
okay,
sahab thoda piche na. Bansa sahab thoda piche. Yeah, thoda
What's this?
piche set. Yeah, okay, that's good.
How's this?
Ajay
give
bhai,
me
it's
one more
okay.
additional minute. एक minute. हाँ, बताइए. You were saying something. Anchor work.
No,
So I'm changing
frame
my
set कर लिया तो
microphone.
we'll start.
Can you still hear me? This is a different microphone, hopefully better one.
Yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
perfect. I'm set.
Yes, yeah, we are studying. Yeah. Yeah, countdown. Welcome to Mana TV. Prime Minister Narendra Modi next week is visiting United States of America. Officially confirmed is 2 days schedule. He will be the second foreign head who is visiting after Trump historical victory in United States of America. First, Netanyahu already in America, in Washington, and Prime Minister Modi will be the second foreign head who is visiting America. And third person will be Ishaba, the chief executive of Japan. He is visiting America to meet Donald Trump. Modi and Trump meeting created a lot of debates in the world, particularly BRICS countries and G8 countries and G20 countries. Modi, they are treating Modi as a brand ambassador to represent and cool Donald Trump. Lot of bilateral discussions will be taken place, particularly economic and trade cooperation and defense and security and energy and technology, geopolitical and border security issues will be also discussed during the visit of Narendra Modi. Particularly, more Indian diaspora is concerned about immigration and F1 student issues and what is going to be happen. Recently, 104 illegal immigrants deported to India. The way they deported, a lot of controversies are going on within the India, and how America will respond on the request of the Narendra Modi. Let's see. Today we have a special debate on the same subject, Modi and Trump historical meeting and expectations of Indian diaspora. Today we are having distinguished judge, guest Mr. Dr. Jai Bansal, Vice President Education and Prachara Committee, Vishwa Hindu Parishat, America, as well as Ajay Shah is the founder and convener Hindu Pact, as well as past president, World Hindu Council, United States of America. We have Chand Akkineni, CEO, IT Jobscape, and welcome Akkineni and Bansalji and Ajay Bhai.
Ji, namaste.
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 Yes.
Namaste.
Yeah. Bansalji, how you respond on the Modi-Trump meeting? Lot of expectation from the Indian community and the NRA community and the diaspora. What will be the forward points?
Yeah, so first of all, my namaste and greetings to all your viewers.
Yes.
The Trump and Modi, the upcoming meeting is obviously a very exciting event for both countries.
Yeah.
And there is lot of positivity, that we can expect from this meeting. I think let's first paint the picture of these two leaders. Both are deeply nationalistic. They have their respective countries' interest in mind. That comes first for both these leaders. Both are strong leaders. They're very clear-eyed about their respective agendas. And the other, I think the positive thing is that they have very good personal rapport going back to 4 years or before that, during the first Trump term. They had excellent rapport. And I think that bodes well for the upcoming meeting. Their styles are very similar. Both are ambitious, high energy individuals. Both want to do good for their respective countries and want to do it fast. Now, Trump has shown warmth towards the Hindu ecosystem during his, first 4 years, as well as during his recent campaign. And both detest global terrorism and want to root it out. So I think, given all that background, there is a lot of positivity that we can expect from this meeting. Of course, they're going to be, as in any meeting of two international leaders, there are going to be some issues that are some irritants, some issues that are difficult to deal with. But I think both these leaders are, they know how to make deals, how to make compromises, and find common ground. So I expect a lot of good things to come out of this upcoming meeting for both countries.
Yes, Chand Akkineni, how you respond on both the great leaders meeting?
Yeah, no, I agree with Bansalji. He narrated correctly both leaders, their perspectives. But I quite slightly differ from that. Trump is a transactional leader. Okay, for him everything is a transaction, and Modi ji is a shrewd leader.
Yeah.
While keeping America at bay, got oil from Russia. Okay, so I think the dialogue is needed, because with the actions what Trump is intending to do, it'll have impact on Indian economy, Indian security, and many other things need to be handled tactfully to get what we wanted, because he can't just get one policy for the Indian market or Indian country. An example is BRICS. Okay. Anyhow, we're going to talk about that. So anyhow, meeting is good, dialogue is good. I hope some good things will happen.
Yes, Ajay Bhai, how you respond on it, please?
So I think, I agree with both the speakers who have preceded me, first of all, and thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I think one of the things that we have to kind of keep in mind are two things that may seem, contrary, but they're really not. India is an ancient democracy. We have had, as I was in your show earlier, and I mentioned that we have had democracy 3,000-4,000 years ago in Ganapadas and Mahaganapadas and temple walls in Tamil Nadu, laying out all the democratic principles and the election processes and everything else. So we are an ancient democracy.
And you mean that you are saying meeting between oldest democracy and modern democracy?
Oldest democracy, and really and one of the more prominent, most prosperous democracy. And right now also India is the biggest democracy. So we are not really, we are coming together as in the spirit of people, two leaders who are representing a majority of their own population. They both have mandates, and they're coming, both of them are coming together to discuss how the democratic process, how the democratic countries together can prosper and can prevail against the countries who are authoritative in many different ways. So that is really a good starting point. We add to that the fact that, look, in foreign policy, when it comes to countries, every country is for itself. And we have to remember that when it comes to relationship between countries, there are no permanent friends and there are no permanent enemies. In 1971, there were US forces who were trying to support Pakistan in India-Pakistan war, right? They were sending 7th Fleet. At the same time, when there was a 1962 war between China and India, US was supporting India. And today we are at a stage where US and India both need each other because of the threat from China, because of the threat of terrorism, because of threat, all the other anti-democratic forces. And the reason I started with both of us being democracy is because we right now are in a position where both of us have common threat perception. And that brings us even closer together. Not to forget the fact that there are over 6 million Hindus, plus if you really count, as I mentioned to your show viewers last time, really there are about 20 million people who follow in one way or the other Hindu Dharma in America. And they are the people who actually were the vote that tilted it balance in many ways for President Trump. So with all that coming together, we really have a great opportunity of a leader, a democratically elected leader in America and America coming together, looking at issues from the common perspective, and putting aside or working through the differences or putting aside differences. Either way, there are going to be differences. We have no
Yes.
illusions about that. And as this show unfolds, we'll probably talk about them.
Yes, Dr. Bansalji, after
Yes.
Trump inauguration, immediately targeted Brazil, Russia, China. They are all our partners in BRICS summit. Then what will be the future of India?
Well, so I think you're talking about the de-dollarization issue.
Yes.
Yeah, that's something that
No, already
uh,
BRICS proposed for the de-dollarization, then where Trump deadly opposed it.
correct, correct.
Yes.
But I think India very, deftly stepped aside that issue and neutralized that issue from their perspective. And I thought India did a marvelous job of sort of stepping aside and compromising on that issue and moving forward. It's This is something that I think the reaction was from Trump was quite strong and quite and but I think India's handled it well, and hopefully that bodes well for this meeting.
Yes. Dr. Akineni, what will be the difference between the first term and the second term of the Trump? What are the expectations for the world?
See, first term, I think, he was never prepared. He didn't expect that he'll win. Okay. So with that, it took time for him to do things. But this time, with 4 years out of power, a lot of issues going on, he's mentally prepared and he has a plan, with the people, creating all the things ready. So he's ready to go. Instead of 100 days, he says, I'll do it in 100 hours. Okay. So he's going at that jet speed. But I feel he will be checkmated with the federal governments because some of the things he can't do. Okay, he needs the Congress approval. That's what you're seeing. One simple thing you see in the birthright thing, which is not, it is there in the Constitution. He can't change. Okay, so he will have problems with that. He has to go to Supreme Court. In the same way, federal employees, the second one. So another 6-7 cases he may get pushed back. But I think he doesn't care because he's appealing to his segment. Look, hey, I did what I promised. Okay, end result is different. So he is in that mode. And India is, I think, as Mr. Bansal said, calculatedly. Okay, see now BRICS.
Yes.
Everybody said, hey, let's discontinue dollar so that we can do rupee trade and all that. But India is kind of playing a low response compared to Brazil. And Russia and China, we don't know what they're going to do. Okay, because it's not just one front, and other fronts also. Because Russia, you have a Ukraine angle. China has other trade imbalance. So with all that, but that way, India is playing quite to see. India can't just today say, oh, we're quitting the BRICS. Okay, so now we have to see how Modi ji will tactfully handle that situation.
Yes. Ajay bhai, Trump several times described about Modi is very tough and very hard. In what sense?
I think he was talking about the bargaining. And I think when it comes to bargaining, I think, Trump himself is a great bargainer, right? He comes from business background and he's always known to be a very tough bargainer. And I think, Prime Minister Modi is equally, astute when it comes to politics. He is not the one to, sell out the Indian interests. Look, as I said earlier, these are mature countries, mature democracies, mature leadership, and nobody is in the power for the first time. Modi ji is starting his third term. President Trump is starting his second term. They have a lot of experience when it comes to dealing with other countries, in addition to their past experiences, whether it's in business or in social life or whatever it is. So I think both are going to be tough negotiators, and that's what you expect from your leader. We as Americans, expect American leader to be a tough negotiator, and people who are Indian citizens expect Indian leader to be tough negotiation, because at the end of the day, only through that process and you develop mutual respect, and through mutual respect you come up with as much as possible a win-win situation. So anyone who has ever taken a business class will tell you that at the end of the day you are looking for a win-win proposition. You are not You never want a relationship where one
Yes.
person wins and another person loses, because that is not good for a long-term relationship. So good. I'm glad that both leaders are tough. I'm glad both leaders are able to make their cases and work the issues out. I mean, you can take any issue, number of issues. I mean, you can take the BRICS currency issue, you can take immigration issue, you can take any number of issues, that H-1B issue. You need both the sides to have leaders who are going to eloquently and forcefully present their case with the willingness to somewhere find a ground where it's a win-win.
Dr. Bansalji, in Indian Parliament, a lot of discussions are going against the deportation and the way they deported to India, 104 people, handcuffs. Lot of memes are going on the deportation subject. Particularly USA returned by USA. Lot of hashtags are trending. How you respond on the deportation subject?
Okay, I think it's a very simple issue. These people, they have committed a crime against the United States by crossing the border without permission. They, I think many of them are describing their, harrowing journey through, the various routes and so on.
Dr. Bansal, as per the USA statistics, there are 7,25,000 undocumented immigrants, whereas 18,000 is totally illegal immigrants. Is 18,000 is going to set back to India? Then what will be the terms and conditions between Trump and Modi now?
I think again, as I said in my response, these people are criminals. Okay, they have committed a crime against the
Now,
United
how we can go for the directly criminals? They stayed long time in America. They employed in different companies. They worked with the different companies. All of the sudden, we are coming and stating that 18,000 are criminals and 7,25,000 are criminals. How we can decide it?
See, if they do not have the immigration papers, if they did not cross the border in a legal fashion, then they are by definition criminals. And they are being, those who are being sent back, they have committed a crime against this country, and therefore they're being treated like criminals. I think I've seen some of the scenes from Indian Parliament where they are handcuffing themselves and making these big announcements. I think these people, these politicians know very well that these are criminals and they should be treated like criminals. If they do not understand this very basic principle, then they're either naive or too stupid. Okay, so these people, when they were coming to the U.S. without proper authorization, they knew exactly what they were doing, and quite honestly, they are look. If someone broke into your house and started living in your house without your permission, how would you treat them?
Yes.
Okay, so it's really as simple as that. Let's not let's not mince our words. Now, when you talk about H-1B and people who are living here on working here on H-1B and that sort of thing, that's a completely different ballgame. But we're talking specifically about people who cross the border illegally, and then they come here and they actually they castigate their home country, India. They make up all kinds of stories about being tortured and so on and so forth, and they are refugees. They are actually giving bad name to India when they come here. So quite frankly, they should be sent back. And yes, they were handcuffed. That is the standard operating procedure for US when they send deport people out. And let's all be very honest and clear-eyed about this issue.
Yes. Mr. Chandakineni, how you respond? You are in the field of the manpower industry and you know better than us how India is going to tackle the situation.
Yeah, no, I think it is true. Most of them crossed illegally. Okay, so they need to be sent back. And a lot of people overstayed. Okay, they come on a different visa. It could be educational visa, or it could be multiple things, and then just go and stay with somebody they can't trace. And that's so definitely there are two different categories: illegal transfer and overstaying. But either way, you broke the laws of US. In the past, they used to quietly get a judge's, approval and deport them. But here, Mr. Trump is trying to show optics, sending them in a military plane sends a message. We don't allow, kind of. Okay, so that's very difficult to receive from the other side. Same thing, Colombia also objected to military plane landing in Colombia. Then Trump threatened them with tariffs. So they backed down and agreed to do it. Whereas India is not that, and Parliament, we are a democratic country. So people will see the optics and being returned, irrespective of whatever situation they went, they will see is like a pride of the people will see on the other side. Look, hey, who are they to send us and treat them? So there is a general support for the people being returned, irrespective of what they did. Okay, so but that's what Trump want to convey a message. Okay, please don't try. Nobody should try this path again. So we have to see how things will shape up.
Yes, Ajay Bhai, American government indirectly spent more than $1 million to transfer 104 illegal immigrants. They hired some C-17 military aircraft, and the way they deported, a lot of political controversies are going within the India. I hope you are also in India. You are following a lot of news channels and a lot of newspapers. Priyanka Gandhi and several opposition leaders also condemned it. Then how you respond on it?
So, look,
Parade government of America spent $5,000 to transport here. In spite of spending $5,000, they can give a reformative punishment or regressive. They can reform there. It's chances are there in American laws.
No, I think I agree with the my fellow panelists here that look, I mean, the people, no mainstream Hindu organization, American or Indian organization will say that we are in favor of illegal immigration, because illegal immigration is not is not victimless crime.
Nobody is supporting. But there are some humanitarian laws. Even America also executed a lot of treaties.
But look, I mean, no, the problem is this. So, CG, the problem is this, right? When you're deporting someone, and out of 150 people in the plane, you just need a couple of people to create mischief, try to open emergency door, try to do something criminal, and that puts the entire passenger, a manifest of the passenger list of the plane, or all the passengers in the plane in jeopardy, their lives in jeopardy. You're at 35,000 feet. There's no reason to take a chance on people who are already criminals and you're transporting them back. So this is something that, and look, I mean, take a step back. I mean, you think that people are going there only to find a job and all that, but really these people are also, in many of them are victims to people they are paying money to, who have deceived them. Last year, about a year ago, there was a Gujarati couple with 2 kids, small kids, under 10. They were illegally crossing the border in winter from Canada to US, and all 4 of them froze to death. Now, this is so because they were promised this, I don't know what kind of life, but I mean, gold, gold littered houses or something like that. So they were coming with jobs that are, that pay hundreds of thousands a year. So they sold everything. They gave it to the mule who transports them. They cross the Canadian border in winter without knowing what kind of condition they're passing. So look, we have to have compassion. And what this kind of flight does is it really, as Chandji just said, it really puts a fear into other people who want to come. And so the deterrence value far exceeds the $1 million that you are talking about of taking, the cost of transporting someone back. So you really have to look at the immigration problem holistically. That one creates so much buzz that now people are saying that, is this something that I really want to do? And so it's not about humanitarian law. It is, in many ways, it is humanitarian to treat these people the way they have been treated, because they're now, and let's not worry about the Indian politicians. So India has its own political, Indian political parties have their own compulsion. They, the same people who are talking about these immigrants, illegal immigrants, and facilitating, their how they should be coming back, facilitating their transport back, and all that. These are the same people who invited people from Bangladesh to come to India. And crores. And in what, how did they, did they, did they, what, they also came in the same kind of condition, and now they want to give them all the facilities, including voting and everything else in India. So these are the people who want illegal immigrants to go from India to US. They want illegal immigrants to come from Bangladesh to India. So I would rather not talk about these people, because they are promoting illegal activities everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think,
Dr.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
please. You can
Sorry, I just-
respond, Mansulji. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say this. I think first of all, these people should feel lucky that they did not get shot at when they were crossing the border illegally. Okay, they are, they still have their lives, and yes, they lost a lot of money, and that's, we can, on a human level, we can sympathize with them. But when it comes to Indian politicians making all this hoopla about this particular event, I think one should be asking, and I think you as a journalist should be asking this question to these people: what would they do if someone broke into their house? What kind of treatment would they give that person? Okay, and that's exactly the kind of treatment these people are getting. Okay, and as the other two panelists said, it is actually, Trump is actually making a statement on the world stage that it is not acceptable for someone to just walk through the border as if the border does not exist. Okay, it actually sends a message to people who might want to do it in future, that they will not be treated kindly in this country if they do so. So yes, the optics of sending in a military plane in handcuffs and all that looks bad. However, it has a long-term effect on people who want to do it, without realizing the consequences.
Yes, Mr. Akineni, maybe Donald Trump and Narendra Modi's meeting agenda first or second will be immigration issue. What will be your suggestions? You are in the field, you connected, subjected with immigration. What is your suggestions?
See, I think Trump is okay with the, valid immigration for the, people who can come legally. Again, they're looking at, we want highly qualified people, not everybody coming to US and taking over the jobs here. So I think they're tightening the H1 process. Okay. And then think maybe this year is too early, but next year and others, what they may do, they may try to say only people who are getting 150,000 and more salary can apply for H1. Okay, so that what happens, removes the resistance from big companies like Microsoft, Google, and all these companies. Yeah, they want the bright, creamy layer of the Indian software engineers to come here, and that's so here he will tighten, and but see, legal immigration, there are people in the queue. So they have to come at some point of time. Only thing, they may delay it forever, like India, now most of them are because of the countrywide, allocation. It may take some people 50 to 60 years to come through that process. So we don't know whether he will change anything. See whether both the Democrats and Republicans come together to form a, immigration bill which allows qualified people to come to US legally.
Yes, Dr. Akineni, I mean, a lot of green card applications are pending, and since last 20 years, people are waiting for clearance of whether this subject is going to be discussed between the both leaders.
You're asking me?
Yes, Dr. Akineni.
Yeah, sure. So
Sir, this
I
is
think,
for Chand Akineni. Akineni, sir, you can.
See, discussion will come. Okay, this is the reality. He will say, Trump will say clearly, I'm not against it. And Modi ji will say, yes, okay, we never encourage illegal immigration and we'll do, but he would like to get some concession for the Indian IT industry, H1s, okay, allowing H1s to come as were in the previous years, and also allowing dependents of H1 employees, like, spouses who are on H4 EAD and other things. I'm not sure how far Trump will go, because he's not looking at India, but it applies to everyone. But unfortunately, majority of the H4 EAD come from India. Okay, so that's what, and also they feel that those jobs can be given to local Americans. So it is a winning issue for him. Okay, see, if a H1 employee on a quality and qualifications, he came, that's fine, but H4 EAD, there's no guarantee. There are some of them, the spouses are also well qualified people, but that's not, but anybody even who didn't have a prior experience being on H4 EAD, they qualify to work. Okay, it doesn't
Yes.
need any screening, filtering, and all that. So that I'm not sure whether Trump will budge on that, but or they may kind of maybe keep the status quo, so things will continue.
Yes, Ajay Bhai, Trump tax targeting even Indian ancestral properties also. If we are holding good properties in the India, Trump is going to tax that properties also. Then how Indian diaspora will respond for that?
Yeah, so let me first just say a couple of things on immigration, if you don't mind.
Please,
Because
please, you are welcome. Please, please.
I want to
Yes.
bring up because we put it as part of our American Hindu agenda for 2024. So I'll bring
Please.
those up, and I hope that they come up. So one is that, of course, I think one of the things that I hope that President Modi and Trump, when they discuss, it comes up, and is the fact that they really, between the two countries, we have to figure out what to do with the country caps. Because that, America needs qualified people, and America does not need over immigration. And so what is really the right path? So if you remove the country-wise cap, that is something that will benefit both India and US, because that enhances the people-to-people relationship. It enhances the lives of Hindus and Indians who are in America. And that, I think, country-wise cap is one of the things that can be easily lifted. There's really no sane reason to have countrywide cap. Let that be a free market system. Whoever is qualified, whoever can help American economy should be able to come to America. The second is something that affects the children who are what are called the Dakla children. These are
Yes.
the kids who are 2 and 3 years old when they came with their parents legally to America. When they turned 18, they went out of status. So now they go to F1 visa, and then after that they go to H1 visa, but they don't, then they're completely out of status, and they've grown up here. They're now going to go, and they've come legally. I have no sympathy for people coming illegally. These are all the kids who came here legally, and because their parents right now, and Chanji mentioned 50, 60 year, I saw the latest Congressional Budget Office, one of the Congressional Committee estimates, it's about, now it's 121-year wait. So these kids have no hope of getting green card through their parents. Usually, when many of us came to America, the wait was a few months to a few years. And
Yes.
now with that long a wait, a kid is definitely going to go out of status and become a Dakla kid. So something needs to be worked out so that these kids have a path to American green card. And that can be solved if expedited processes are put in place and not make people wait for 121 years. So what is the right amount of how can you speed up the H1 to green card conversion for qualified people so that they have permanency in their life? It's not like they lost a job in 60 days, they have to go back. Those things are not happening. And their kids, and that uncertainty goes away for their kids, and everyone benefits. America benefits because now they have reliable supply of good qualified talent.
Yes, true.
And so I think these are the things that I would say about the immigration, just to kind of close off on that topic.
Yeah, please.
The second question you asked was about the taxation. I think there is a lot of things that need to be talked about in taxation. India, I think it's reasonable for both the leaders who are coming from who are coming from the background where they appreciate the value of low
No,
taxes.
we welcome within the America. If we tax on our whatever the products, whatever our services, that's well and good. But on
Correct.
our ancestral properties, on our own,
I completely understand. I think this is something that we
it
have
won't
to
make
really.
sense.
No, it does not make sense. It absolutely does not make sense. Both the leaders are coming from the background where they prefer low taxes. You can see the recent Indian budget that came out last week. You can see what President Trump has proposed for America and with what he did in the past when he was the president. And I think they both, since they both understand the value of low taxes, they understand the value of people investing their money instead of giving it to government and having government invest it for them. I think it behooves upon them to really not tax this ancestral property, not a double taxation, all these things. Because at the end of the day, you want enterprising people to promote business, you promote job growth through free market. And I think it will be against President Trump's interest, as it will be against the interest of all the Indian Americans, to tax the ancestral property. It is absolutely unfair. I think President Trump has already said that in America, the debt tax, we call it the debt tax, right? And President Trump has already said that the debt tax should be eliminated. At one time, he said that all the people who are low tax, organization, think tanks have suggested that we get rid of that tax, and so this to me is nothing but debt tax on ancestral property. We should have the same laws that apply to debt tax in America, or the reforms of the debt tax in America should apply to ancestral properties that Indians own, outside of India.
Yes,
As
Dr.
simple as
Bansal, I
that.
draw your attention towards defense, border security, and geopolitical relations. How it going to be between Indo-America?
Yeah, I think I look at the world today and I see there are there are obviously a lot of countries, but there are three countries that are right now, I think, most relevant and most important in terms of geopolitics.
Yes.
United States, China, and India. Okay.
Yes.
And when you look at the overall sort of chessboard of geopolitics, it is clear that the interests of India and United States are very much aligned in terms of the geopolitics. China is viewed by both countries for variety of logical reasons to be on the other side. Okay.
Yes.
So in that sense, America needs India and India needs America, in terms of the in terms of good relationships, in terms of certainly defense pacts and the relationships and so on and so forth. And I think those relationships, in fact, even under the previous administrations, those relationships have been growing steadily, slowly but steadily. And I think I expect under the new regime those relationships to actually go to the next level. So, in nutshell, the interests of India and United States in the geopolitical terms are very much aligned, and it bodes well, I think, for their relationships going forward in that respect.
Yes. Dr. Akkineni, how you respond on trade and cooperation relations between the two countries?
See, I think, in case of trade, both are very pragmatic leaders, okay?
Mm.
Yeah.
How to get the things going, because it makes money for both sides, okay? So there are areas where US needs certain things, and just, see, India is very quick to reduce the taxation on Harley Davidson motorcycles, okay? See, all these days, India also was protective of Indian industry, particularly when you're Make in India doing, you have to encourage that. So there were luxury goods, the taxes are high. Okay? In the same way, India never allowed insurance industries to get into the
Yes.
Indian market, but slowly they are opening up. So Trump will demand access to US companies to reach the 1.4 billion people. Okay, that's very tempting to them. So he will try to push. In the same way, same tone, Modi ji will ask access to H1 people to come, exports, particularly pharma. See, pharma and the diamonds, and these are the software. These three get 70-80% of the export revenue from US. Okay, we need to protect that market. So I think that is good. And also, people are speculating, see, there are certain things what Canada and Mexico produces. If he has a problem, Trump has a problem with them, if there are, India is going to benefit on some of the sectors where the tax are imposed on Canada and Mexico. So
Yes.
is a business
Yes.
is business. So everybody is looking how to make extra dollar for themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. May I just add something?
Please, Bansalji.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think in terms of the trade relationships, Chanji has very, eloquently pointed out that they're, the interests, certainly coincide. Both people know how to make deals. Now, what I would say is, I mean, certainly the tariff is a big issue with Mr. Trump, President Trump. He certainly would push very hard on tariffs issue. But however, when you look at what he has done so far, he has imposed immediately tariffs on Canada, Mexico, although those have been postponed by a month or so, and China, right? But even though he has talked a great deal about how India is misuses tariffs and all that, he has not imposed tariffs. In fact, he's invited Mr. Modi to come and discuss it. So he actually he really wants to make a deal, as opposed to just slapping tariffs on India, punitive tariffs on India. So I think in the end I'm very hopeful that a win-win situation will come out of the upcoming meeting between these two leaders.
Yes, Ajay Bhai, really, I mean, a lot of expectation from the rest of the world. Particularly, we are waiting for what both leaders are going to discuss, as well as its impact on the world. Lot of world countries are waiting for this meeting, particularly G8 and G20, BRICS countries. They won't be the Modi will be the brand ambassador to represent Trump. Then what is going to be the action?
I think it's good to know that, because we've always I go back to something that we always kind of dream about, right? Like, as Indians, we always thought that Bharat is a Vishwaguru. So here is
Yes.
one part of manifestation of
Rightly
that.
pointed out, yes, Vishwaguru. Now Modi portraying as a Vishwaguru to represent Trump.
He's representing Vishwaguru, so I'm not surprised that everyone is looking at Modi ji and how his interactions come out. But I think what world is going to learn is that President Trump is a man of his word. He's a strong leader, and he takes an extreme position as a starting point of a bargain. And then but he's also not he's also not someone who is going to sell out American interests. And the world that and he in many ways he sees world as what George Bush at one time said, right? Either you're with us or you're against us. And I think he sees the world in he sees the world kind of in that way. So I think the countries that have taken US for a ride for a long time are going to learn that, at least for the next 4 years while he's the president, that is not going to be the case. So you find out that as the US aid is being is being dismantled as a department, right? They're now going from 10,000-12,000 employees to fewer than 300 employees. And they're finding out that they were funding the JET in Pakistan, a terrorist organization in Pakistan.
Yes.
They were giving $256 million to Afghanistan, even though Afghanistan is has vowed to kind of destroy America. We are giving money to Afghanistan. So the people are going to find out that this free flow of American money to pet projects of a few people in America is not going to continue. They're going to find out that countries which are getting a free ride, whether it's with respect to being as part of NATO or part of some other alliance, that free ride is not going to be free anymore. And they're also going to, India is also going to find out that a lot of the exports that were for us, we were enjoying maybe some tariff-free export, some tax-free export, but
Yes.
at the same time we are putting the tariffs on American goods coming in. We, as in America, was getting tariffed by India. That is not going to continue. and America is going to be able to sell more Harley Davidsons, because one of the taxes that was taken off last week was on luxury
Yes.
motorbikes, and that was specifically aimed at reducing the cost of bikes like Harley Davidson. If you remember, a long time ago, there was, before in President Trump's first term, there was Harley Davidson versus Alfonso Mangos, right? How do we equate the trade? So I think the rest of the world is also going to learn that you have to open up markets for both sides to benefit, and you have to respect America's strength. At the same time, you have to come to a table as equals. I think that's a good thing for the world to learn. And countries that are have adversarial relationship, such as China or they're going to find that President Trump is good at making alliances and partners with countries like India to counter the common threat perception, whether it is in the AU, UK, US
Yes.
context, or whether it is in the whether it is in the other regional groupings that we have, right? So I think these are the kind of alliances that he's going to make, and I think world is going to learn that
Yes.
this is going to be a much different presidency than the previous 4 years that we have had.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dr.
I think,
Bansal,
Trump
Dr.
will
Bansal, what are the
prefer-
Dr. Bansal, what are the proposals of Indian diaspora in the matters of the heritage and culture, trade and technology, and borders issues, and several lot of issues are there. What are the proposals from Indian diaspora?
I think we've discussed various topics and already. One of the topics that Indian diaspora would be very interested in is the issue of Hindu phobia and terrorism. There is Khalistani terrorism. That's been growing very strongly in US and Canada and other countries. So I think there would be expectation from the diaspora to have a very strong discussion and agreement on how to tackle some of these criminal elements that are basically terrorizing the diaspora and creating all kind of havoc for the diaspora. But in terms of the other issues, the immigration we've talked about, diaspora clearly expects fair treatment for people who are here on legal status. As Ajay mentioned, I think their cases, green card cases, should be clearly expedited. This business of 60 years or 110 years and all that is just total nonsense. And I think that diaspora expects fair treatment for people who are law-abiding citizens or law-abiding people who are here legally. The diaspora, I think, very clearly expects meritocracy to prevail, as opposed to some of the programs that were counter to meritocracy, and specifically the DEI movement that has been taking hold in this society for the last many years. I think clearly diaspora, we are a high performing society, and we expect merit to be valued. And so that, I think that discussion should take place, and meritocracy should prevail. It would be in the best interest of the Indian diaspora, whether it's in terms of getting position, jobs, whether it's in terms of getting, green card, whether it's in terms of their children getting accepted into Ivy League schools and all those issues that DEI has. The DEI movement has been sort of pushing under the surface. So I think those are, look, we are a high performing and high contributing segment of the society. Okay, so we expect laws that are fairly applied across the entire society, and meritocracy is valued. So anything that falls in under that umbrella is what diaspora expects.
Yes, Dr. Akkineni, you are going to add something to Ajay Bhai's answer. You can respond as well as you have to answer for just because of executive orders directly or indirectly affected community or students. Lot of changes taking place for the students just because of Trump executive orders. You have to address their issues and their problems also, please.
Yeah, no, one point I wanted to mention when Ajay ji talking, see, Trump is a one-on-one business kind of. He doesn't G8, G20, he doesn't take, look, let's talk one-on-one. What I will settle with you, don't link with
Only
others.
America
Okay?
first. America
America
first.
first, tell me how
Yes.
you're going to. So
Yes.
he will not entertain all that. And it's not good for India also to bring all this because, you can't handle your own transactions. Now imagine others will complicate this. So he's not going to do. The executive orders, yes, I think, it will particularly education. Now people will start thinking, okay? Right now, Indians may be number one, they surpassed the Chinese in terms of students, okay?
Yes.
But now that will trickle because see, people spending so much money coming here, if they're not able to work, if they're not, see, most of the people who come here, they work on part-time in the campus, off the campus. They're allowed to work 20 hours inside the campus, but inside the campus, they don't have enough jobs. So most of these kids, come, work in the gas stations and other places. In a way, it is illegally and earn money instead of asking parents to support. So once that becomes a burdensome, very few people will come to US universities. See, there is an impact on US universities are also surviving because of the Indian students and the high fee they pay. Because, a local guy doesn't pay, same tuition fee as the overseas student. So there's impact. He will try to push, but I think universities also will push him to, look, let the students come, give the benefit for them to work for 2 to 3 years. Okay, so that may continue, but not the level it used to be. And they're controlling the number of people that are coming and how long they can stay. Okay, so but I think that will again impact the students applying for visa coming to US. So these executive orders, some of them will not go through. Courts will stop them because you can't just target one country, you can't target one group. You have to
Yes.
follow
Hope the
the
best.
process. So we are hoping that some of those there's a built-in resistance. to
Yeah,
some
more
of
than
the-
29 states have started legal batting against the executive orders. And
Yes.
whichever the perfect and good in the American frame, it will be prevail. If not against that, as per the law, it will be curtailed. Yeah, Ajay Bhai, kindly suggest 3 points to Modi and Trump. It should be discussed as a conclusion remarks, please.
So I think one thing that a lot of points have already been covered, so I'll not go through that, but we've already talked about it. I don't want to be repetitious.
Yes.
But one thing that did not come up is the close collaboration in defense. Now, India, as we all know, India is in a market for a lot of equipment, all the way from fighter jets to sophisticated drones to even striker, vehicles, right? So India is in market for military equipment. But I think one of the things that President Trump has to convince the Prime Minister of India is that the American supply will be reliable, because
Yes.
generally countries have found that America, is good at American equipment is probably much better than any other equipment you can buy in the market, the American arms. But the American arms comes with a lot of strings attached. And an independent country like India cannot work in an environment where your GPS stops working when you are having a war with Pakistan in Siachen. So that we cannot have a repeat of that, and a lot of other examples from other countries, as we all know. So I think
Yes.
President Trump wants to promote trade. India is a willing buyer of all the good arms. Only thing is that you have to work out, that there are no kill switches, and there, the trade. If you trade in arms, then India should be able to use the arms the way
Yes.
India needs to.
Dr. Bansalji, kindly suggest 3 points, please, as a
Well,
conclusion remarks.
It's very difficult, given the wide-ranging discussion we've had, it's very difficult to come up with just 3 points. I think clearly trade relationship is going to be a big issue. Technology transfer, particularly in the area of defense, is going to be, going to be an important issue. And as we've discussed, immigration and all the issues related with immigration, whether it's H-1B, whether it's a return of the illegals and so on and so forth. I think that is going to be, those are the three things that are going to be prime in their in their
Yeah,
meetings.
Dr. Chand Akkineni kindly suggest 3 points it should be discussed between Trump and Modi.
No, I think it boils down to the same three: trade, cooperation in defense, and getting the things. And next one is the immigration. See, one of the things I
Yes.
foresee right now. Okay, see, India is sending space flights or sending satellites into orbit. Okay, very
Yes.
cheap, and it's taking away the market from US and other countries. Okay, now their eyes will fall on that. Okay, look, these guys are saying, let's tax them. So
Yes.
there are some areas where India are going to, but anyhow, that cooperation is needed. So both countries benefit.
Yes. Thank you, Akkineni. Thank you, Dr. Bansalji and Ajay Bhai. Thanks for your valuable time. World is waiting for two leaders to meet and discuss lot of things about the India and about, like Ajay Bhai said, Vishwaguru representing Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. Lot of things about the Vasudhaiva Kutumbam they are going to discuss. In the term one, they had a very good relation, very warm relation. We are expecting term two also very good relations for India, for America, as well as rest of the world. Thanks for giving your valuable time. I'm Mr. Silveri Srisailam for Mana TV. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to
Namaste.
discuss.